I think us girls are put through our paces a little bit more than the boys are, to tell you the truth. But I think that the boys have their own struggles that they've got to deal with too. So, any way you look at it, the music industry is not easy. So it doesn't matter if you're a girl or a boy, or if you or if you have big boobs, or if you can write a great song or whatever. It's hard for everyone. So.
This is Rob Ruckus.
Hey, this is Kate Clover.
Hey guys, it's Nick Collins here from The Effect and Better Strangers.
Hi, my name is Madeline Rose.
Hey, it's Ben McKelvey.
It's Tim Howard here from Mike and the Mechanics.
Hello, I'm Amanda Lehman.
I'm Billy Harvey.
What's going on, everybody? I'm Casey Sampson from the band Twist Stop.
Hey, it's Tony from Fastball.
Hello, everybody. My name is Isaiah Mitchell.
Hey guys, it's Matt here from the White Lakes.
You're listening to Almost Famous Magazine.
Come join us for this interview. Check it out, Almost Famous Magazine.
Hey everyone, welcome back to The Hang right here on Almost Famous Magazine. Thank you to everyone who subscribed, rang the bell, shared our channel, all the great interviews and hangs that we're bringing you. Today is no different. We're going to jump right in. We're going to hang with Pembroke, Ontario, Canada's own Ginny Ranger of Ginny and the Rearrangers. They are a fierce rock band that literally melts the Canadian snow with the energy they put out in their performances. So, Ginny, welcome to The Hang.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate the opportunity.
Absolutely. Well, I'm excited because we're going to talk about your new single, right? And everything you're going to be doing with the band once the snow melts.
Yep.
So we're going to get to that. But we have a tradition here on The Hang where we kind of start to get to know somebody by going back to their beginning. So when it comes to music, did you find music or did music find you? What's that origin story of you getting to where you are today?
Well, I come from a family who is deeply rooted in music, especially like Ottawa Valley driven music. I grew up listening to classic country music. And when I say classic country, I don't mean Dwight Yoakam, I mean Hank Williams Sr. So, and a lot of fiddle music. I actually step danced for 6 years too in the Ottawa Valley. And that's a big part of our like Irish culture here. There's a melting pot here, but there's a lot of Irish people. So that was my first, like, the time I was shown music was by my parents. My mom actually was a Catholic nun for 14 years before she left the convent and decided to become a teacher and raise a family. And she is the one who taught me my first couple of chords on the guitar. I found an old Yamaha guitar, I still have it in a closet when I was in high school. And I pulled it out. I'm like, we have a guitar? Like, I was completely immersed in classic rock at that time. I was not like sitting at the same place that my parents were, obviously, but I grew up in a generation where we didn't pick the radio station or the television show. So I was forced to listen to a lot of classic country, and now it's really nostalgic for me, and I have a love for it. I don't know that that shows up in my own music because it's a little further away, but my parents are the people who introduced me to music. Lots of old Irish songs. My dad sang me to sleep every night. So that was my introduction to it. And then growing up in the Ottawa Valley, there's just so many musicians here. Like all we did when we were teenagers was hang out in someone's garage and play the Tragically Hip and Metallica and Smashing Pumpkins and stuff like that. But it was the guys who were playing it, and I was kind of sitting in the corner with the girlfriends, and I was like, I don't really love it over here. I think I want to get up in front of the microphone. So I started kind of learning how to play the guitar, just little bits and pieces. I never took a lesson, just paying attention to what my friends were doing. It was a very slowly developed skill. I'm still not very good at it, to tell you the truth. I just do what I need to do to get by. And my friends growing up were huge influences on me. They showed me like Zeppelin, Hendrix, CCR, the Stones, the Doors, like stuff like that. And then, of course, Metallica and Ozzy Osbourne, Black Sabbath, and I don't know what else. They were kind of like had heavier influences. So I think I have a pretty well-rounded background that has brought me to this place today where it's developed this sound that I have, I suppose. All of those influences combined.
well, all those influences. You only named one Canadian one, the Tragically Hip. I mean,
Oh, the
isn't
Smashing
it?
Pumpkins too, and oh no, they're not Canadian, are they? Canadian. Other, listen to so many Canadian artists. I'm a huge JJ Wild fan right now. Big Ruby Waters. Love her. Um, oh, I should have made a little list. I know so like
I
listen to so much Canadian music, and my set is full of the Beaches. I'm a huge fan of the Beaches. Um, oh, what's the guys? He's got a band that the Beaches girl dated. I can't
oh
remember. I can't remember what that band's called, but there's I guess I fixate maybe a little more on female musicians just because I am a female. So, but
well.
lots of Canadian artists in my playlist, that's for sure. For
Well,
sure, for sure.
let me ask you this. I mean, what's it like being a female lead of an all male group
I
and
love this question. So, it's interesting. I am automatically nominated to organize almost everything. I don't mind that because, admittedly, I might be a little bit of a control freak about certain things. So I guess I kind of like. Sometimes I like being in that position, and sometimes I despise it. And like, but it's I mean, I think it's a male dominated industry for the most part. It is around here. Like, there are lots of girls around here, like Randa Teschner and Sarika Lynn and Sarika or Sarika. I always forget how to say her name. Like, even, like, just even little local artists that are girls that are just killing it right now. My friend Erin from Beyond Driven, she is just breaking through boundaries and she's doing some really cool things. Danielle Hewitt, she's doing some, oh my God, if you haven't seen that girl, you should see her. She's doing some cool stuff too. So what's it like being the girl? I mean, we're sort of like the automatic lead of the band, whether we like it or not. I like bring everything to the band and it's a band decision always. But they vote like verbalize that they just want me to do it. So, I mean, that has its pros and cons, I suppose. And then I think in the industry in general, it's difficult for women. I think people would think sometimes maybe that we have an easier time because we can put on a like a sexy outfit and kind of get some attention that way, but that's not what we want people to know about us. I mean, am I sexy? Yeah, I damn well am, and I own it too. And I wear lots of cool outfits, but it's the lyrics and the music and the vocals and the performance that I'm interested in portraying to the crowd. And unfortunately, being a woman, being sexualized is a big part of the music industry. So you really have to walk kind of a tightrope sometimes between expressing yourself with style, and I'm body positive, so I don't mind showing some skin once in a while and being proud of how I look, but I don't want that to be the thing. I want the music to be the thing. So that's the fight for us. Like a revealing top might get you on stage or get you the gig or get some eyes looking at you, but that's not how you keep them. So that's very well known. And it's hard if you go that way and like lean into your sexuality or your body positivity, let's say, or whatever, then it's hard to come back from that spot. Like once people have decided that that's what you're worth, then it's a big fight to get back and be recognized for what you're actually doing and not how you look.
yeah, knowing your chops, proving your chops,
Hmm.
right?
I
Doesn't matter
think
if you're a man or a woman, right?
I think us girls are put through our paces a little bit more than the boys are, to tell you the truth. But
Mm.
I think that the boys have their own struggles that they've got to deal with too. So, any way you look at it, the music industry is not easy. So it doesn't matter if you're a girl or a boy, or if you or if you have big boobs, or if you can write a great song or whatever. It's hard for everyone. So.
So now you've been working with this band. You've had your band for what, a couple of years now? A few years now?
Yeah, and the band's had a couple of configurations, which is kind of why we're called the Rearrangers. So my last name, my maiden name is Ranger, or Ranger, actually, because we're very close to Quebec here. So I'm French and Irish. And I just thought it was a clever name because we were kind of like somebody would leave to go to another project, or something was going on with their family. They didn't have the time to spare for the band, so we'd swap out a bass player or a drummer or whatever. And I've been playing with this configuration for, I'm gonna say, like a year and a half now. It might be coming up to 2 years. I don't remember when our first gig was with this group, but I really like this group that I have right now. They're super, super supportive. They're easy to work with. They have some great ideas, and it's been a great dynamic. And we're adding a new guitar player, and I think he's going to fit right into the dynamic too. I can't wait.
Excellent. And you've got a new single out, the Jimmy Jam. Let's talk about that. Where did the song come from? Walk us through your writing process and the meanings behind the song. Give us a story of how you germinated it to where you released it.
Okay, so the song that I released is actually called Jekyll and Hyde, and the Jammy Jam is a fundraiser that I do. So,
Oh, I'm sorry.
and but
I made a mistake. I got my
that's
notes mixed
okay.
up.
That's all right. No problem. So, Jekyll and Hyde is written from my own perspective about a real scenario that I went through. I was dating someone, and when I met him and how he was presented to me and how he presented himself was kind of like one way, this really like this good guy, and yeah, along the way getting to know him, that wasn't so much the case, I don't think. So it's the story of dating in today's world where, nobody really kind of knows each other. You're looking at maybe like a profile picture on a dating app or something, and you're meeting these people and they're telling you that they're like this, but they're really like this. And I think it's also a story of like independence and women finding their voices and using them, and like not tolerating that, being misled and being mistreated, and standing up for yourself. That's what the song's about. So it's about like meeting this person, getting to know him, thinking he was this nice guy, turned out not to be very nice, and being like, you know what? I see you for who you are, and thanks for the ride. I'm out. So
Does the song end with peace out?
I should. Yeah.
So this is available on what, Apple Music, other places you can purchase it, correct?
I believe it's available on all streaming platforms. I use DistroKid to distribute it, so it should be everywhere. It's definitely on Spotify. It's on Apple Music. I believe YouTube Music. I think it's on TikTok Music. I don't even know what else. Like all the other platforms, I don't even know about yet.
Well, excellent. So hopefully people go out and buy it. Now, part of what you were just discussing about, being a female lead in music aligns with supporting women's causes. Tell us about your passion for that.
Yeah, I started fundraising for our local women's shelter a couple of years ago. And initially, I plan it on my birthday weekend every year. I would be getting together with friends for my birthday party, and I just said we'd all get together and drop $150 on dinner somewhere and get some nice wine, and they'd all give me like a picture frame or a candle holder or something. And not that I don't appreciate that, but I just thought I'm in my 40s now, and perhaps I could do something a little bit better, and we could all do something better with our time. So I just took that core group of friends that I have, and I said I want to organize a fundraiser for the women's shelter, which is called the Bernadette McCann House. There's a location in Renfrew, Ontario, and one in Pembroke, Ontario. And this was past September was my third year hosting the Jammy Jam. And it's got a pajama theme, the fundraiser. And the reasoning behind that was because I just think that some women, when they're leaving their homes in the middle of the night to go to a shelter, are probably going with nothing but their pajamas on. So this past September, I managed to raise $6,500, almost $6,500 for the local women's shelter. And I had 10 musical acts, all local, or fairly local anyway. There was one artist from the Peterborough area.
I think that's fabulous.
Yeah.
I think that's fabulous. That is really, to come to a place of selflessness, to turn your birthday celebration into an opportunity to help support other women, I think is fabulous. And if you don't mind, absolutely send me some links so that if anyone watching wants to help support the shelters as well,
I
they can make a
will. Yeah.
donation. So please send those, and we'll put them in
That's great. Yes, I will for
the
sure.
description
It's
below.
a great group of people. The organizer Lee Sweeney meets with me or the administrator Lee Sweeney meets with me every year. She's such a lovely woman, and 100% of the donations that they receive at the shelter go directly to their clients of the shelter as well. I'm just kind of careful of that when I'm involved with fundraising or being a part of someone else's fundraiser. Like I want to know how much of the proceeds are going to the organization that we're raising for and how much are going into people's pockets. The Jammy Jam that I organize, I'm very, 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 very lucky to just have lived in this area and grew up around here around a whole bunch of really talented musicians who are writing and releasing their own music as well as playing and gigging cover bands and stuff around the area, and they all volunteer their time for me. The venue volunteers that, so we have no overhead going into the event, so I could take the whole, it was like $6,400 and some dollars, and give it directly to the women's shelter. So that just feels really good. Feels like, and I think too, being a musician, even though I'm just like a local musician, I'm not, breaking through any boundaries or making it big or anything, but I still have a voice that people are listening to, that not everyone has that opportunity. So I'd like to take the opportunity where people are listening to me and promote everyone supporting the community that we live in.
Well, and you say, you're not big. You will be, just not
I
today.
hope so.
So what are the plans? You've got a new single out. Again,
Yeah.
Everybody go purchase the single. Everyone who watches knows how I feel about supporting their artists. What are your plans for a next single or an EP or an album? What's coming up the next year for you?
Well, I have 3 more originals that I want to get into the studio and record. And now it's just kind of like we're just trying to pace ourselves so we don't get burnt out, because we're all working day jobs as well, right? So, and I have kids. I'm a single mom and I own a business. So the time it's tough to come by sometimes. But we have my first original that we started performing together on stage when we first started the band, Whiskey Kisses. I think that'll be the next one in the studio. And then I have a third single I'd like to record, Every Dog Has His Day. I don't know if I'll release them as singles yet or if I'll compile like an EP or what. And I was just writing one the other day that I made some real headway with. So maybe there'll be even one more song to go on the list.
Well, and correct me if I'm wrong, but you kind of, are putting yourself out there with your songwriting in your Instagram shorts, aren't you? I mean, the
Absolutely. I'm pushing it everywhere. I want more girls to pick up guitars and say what's on their mind and just broadcast that to planet Earth.
That's fabulous. I love that.
And not
That
just
is,
girls, but I mean, like I said, I'm always an advocate for girls because I am a girl and kind of fought my way even to the place where I'm at now. So I like to see more girls doing it. But girls, guys, anybody who's got like a knack for songwriting or a great idea or whatever, like I just put your music out there, and then the only way anyone's going to hear it is if you promote it. So I've been working hard on my Instagram feed and my Facebook page, and I have TikTok as well. I feel like I'm too old for TikTok, but I'm trying. So
don't give up. Don't give up. I totally understand. I mean, we're building this channel as well, and I've got other Instagram accounts, and you start at one. Everybody starts at one, so
Exactly.
Don't worry about it. You'll get there. Now another thing, and I'm going to put the link in the description below. But you kind of supported Ottawa with your Ottawa Valley Rocks playlist. How did that come about?
So I started making the playlist for the listening party for the debut single that I hosted on Tuesday, because the single just dropped this past Tuesday on the 7th. So I wanted my friends and family that were coming to celebrate the debut to have this playlist going on in the background of all these local artists and some of them were there at the party too, just so everybody can hear it. And then it's easy. It's all like in this little list. I can just send you a link to it. And a lot of people are really liking the Spotify list. And it's just I think it's bringing all the local artists together too, and making us aware of all of the other the local bands and musicians that are around us that maybe we didn't even know about before. I'm still taking submissions for it. So if anybody is watching your show, even though you're in Texas, that is from the Ottawa Valley or surrounding areas, then feel free to send me a link to your song and I'll add it to the Ottawa Valley Rocks playlist.
Well, and I'm going to make sure that we include the link in the description below, along with purchasing your single and supporting the shelter, so that everyone watching can follow along. And you never know. I know some Canadians in Texas. Maybe they know a good Ottawa Valley band. So tell me a little bit about, because obviously I'm in Texas and you're not, so I haven't seen you perform. If you are performing out and someone comes to see you, what are some of the nuances of your performance that you would say that somebody would go, wow, I've really got to see this. I got to see what she's doing.
I am a psychopath on stage. I have a wireless mic and there is not a surface I will not stand on top of to sing a song if I feel like I want to do that. I'm really energetic on stage and I feel like my guys are too. And we really bring that energy. I think a lot of it is about the delivery, right? You want to make it interesting for your audience. I try to talk to the audience a lot during my set and include them and get them engaged with me. I really try to pick cover songs when we're covering that people don't hear all the time. Like my do not playlist would include Brown Eyed Girl and Zombie by the Cranberries. Wagon Wheel, top of the list. If you come up to me and request Wagon Wheel, I might spit beer in your face. I'm so sorry. And I loved the song when it came out, or when I heard it from Old Crow Medicine Show, because I know I guess it's a Bob Dylan song. But it's done. It's over. Can we please put it in a pine box and bury it in the backyard and just never ever hear it again? That would be great. So I'm just trying to play things that might sound familiar, but not something. I'm always looking for that song that someone in the audience is going to be like, oh my God, I love this song and I haven't heard it in forever. Something like that. I really like it. And I feel like I might be speaking too soon or talking myself up a little bit too much, but I feel like I introduced the Beaches to the Ottawa Valley. And are you familiar with the Beaches?
A little bit. Yeah, I've heard the music.
A little bit. So they're like a Canadian all-female band that's doing really well right now, and I'm a big fan of them. I like their vibe. I like their message. I mean, I feel like it's a good representation of my musical taste too. So, but when I started, even my band, I was like, I want to play this song by the Beaches, and they were like, who's the Beaches? Like, are you kidding me? Like, they won Junos. They've opened for the Stones. Like, turn your radio on once in a while and have a listen. So I think I'm responsible for half of the Ottawa Valley, even knowing the song Blame Brett by the Beaches. And there's a couple more I'd love to put in the set list too when I try to spread out my love for Canadian artists. So I don't know if I can fit another Beaches song in just yet. I think JJ Wild will be next, or Ruby Waters. One of those girls I'd love to cover.
Well, if you ever cover a Sloan song, I'll be there. Because I'm a big Sloan fan.
I love Sloan so much. What a great band. Yeah. Money City Maniacs. That's on my list for sure. And The Other Man. I really like that one.
That's a great song. I've had the pleasure of photographing them a couple times when they played Dallas. I accidentally found out about them on a sampler disc that somebody gave me with one song off of, what is it? B-Sides Win, right? B-Sides Win is and there was was it Time of Your Life, Best Day of Your Life, something like that. And and I was like, I got to learn about this band. And the next thing you know, I owned the entire catalog within 30 days.
They are so good and unique. They have a really unique sound, and their lyrics are very unique too. I really like the construction of their lyrics. So
one of the really cool things is, like, during their shows, they'll swap out instruments and start playing different things, and different people will sing. And I mean, their really approach is so collaborative. The four of them although there's one lead singer, they're all singing lead at some point in the show. And I think that's
really cool. I haven't seen them. I don't think I've seen them live. I'm pretty sure I haven't. We have a festival that used to happen in Ottawa called Edge Fest. And then it turned into, there was one called Somersault as well. So it was kind of like, I don't know if it was 2 days or just one, but you could go see like 15 headlining bands. Like I've seen Hole, I've seen the Foo Fighters, seen Smashing Pumpkins, A Perfect Circle, Tripping Daisy, Our Lady of Peace, The Tea Party. Like I don't even think I could ever possibly remember all the bands I've seen at those festivals. So I don't think Sloan ever was on one of those bills though. I would love to see them live.
Yeah, if you get a chance to see them, and I know they're working on a new album right now, go check out Sloan. Getting back to your single and your writing and your creativity, who are a few of the main influences to your creativity, like that have people who have had an impact that you try to channel a little bit to make your own?
Ooh, could be a big question. So if you're asking about like musical influences,
Yeah.
I would say I'm like heavily influenced by Led Zeppelin. They've just been a big part of my life since I really started choosing my own music and listening. I love 90s grunge. So like Velvet Revolver, that's my jam for sure. Rage Against the Machine. But I love folky rock too. So the single that I released is kind of like a rock banger. And then I have one of the other ones is I call it like my Tom Petty song, like Whiskey Kisses was the first one I really started performing that everyone in my area kind of knows now. It's not recorded, but everyone's heard me play it so many times. So I love Tom Petty. I love Neil Young, CCR. Who else are some weird? Nine Inch Nails. Like I'm so all over the place, and I love pop. I'm a closet Britney Spears fan. Don't tell anyone I said that. Shh. My
Just
guy
between
friends
us.
will. My guy friends will massacre me for saying that. But I am. I have and The Weeknd. I cover one of The Weeknd songs or two maybe. 21 Pilots is another band that like made a mark on me. The Smashing Pumpkins was my first concert ever, and I think I don't think I sound anything like them, but they had a big influence on me, like as my musical tastes developed. And then like songwriting and stuff, I think I would accredit more of my friends around here, like Matt LeMay and Nat Leach and Jamie Jessup, and a couple of the guys are in bands, and Darren Caldwell, who played lead guitar on my single. So that's Until and Bangers for Breakfast is another band. And Jamie's band is called, oh God, I'm going to forget. He's got a new band name. I can't remember. Sorry, Jamie.
It'll come to you.
But I have so many people that are in my close circle of friends, and Erin from Beyond Driven and her husband Jeremy, and all the people in Beyond Driven. Like big influences, just having them around. Well, I think that we get the best ideas sitting around in a living room or around a campfire with no expectation and no agenda, and just being around. And I always find I get my best ideas from those sessions. I get most inspired by that. I think the local people around me, and Evil Creek, they've been a big influence on me and a big support to me too. Just learning about their songwriting, like how do they do it? What are the mechanics of it? What are they writing about? How are they promoting it? They've been so unbelievably helpful, especially with releasing this single. I didn't have a clue what I was doing. I just went into the studio. I'm like, there, I have a song. They're like, okay, here's a list of 50,000 things you need to do now that you have your song. I was like, what? I just want to go play it on a stage still. That's all I want to do. So.
No, that's great. And look, it's all about learning, and creativity is learning from others. So I think you've got a deep well to pull from. Let me ask you this, and I make no promises with the results of this question that I'm going to ask you, but I will tell you that we've had responses where people have driven far and wide to see shows in Germany. They have come to see headliners because they saw the opening act on the podcast. So I'm going to give you this question. I can't guarantee anything's going to happen for it, but you got to put things out in the world. If you had the opportunity to go into a studio for one day with one other musician to be creative, who would it be and why?
Courtney Love. Why? Because she is confusing and perplexing and so interesting and a little bit of a train wreck. I like it. Like, I like that. I like it. I think that I would like, not even studio. She's the celebrity I would like to meet. I just think like, she's so weird. I like it. I just want to know more about it. And I think she'd be like a really big inspiration. And probably like driving. I don't imagine she'd let you get away with much, you know? So I think she would be really cool to have around. Um, Other than that, I don't know whose
Well,
second choice would be right now.
no,
Yes.
no, no. You get one.
No
You
second
get
choice.
one.
Yeah.
You get
Courtney
one,
Love,
and
solid answer.
we've put it out there. If anyone's
Yeah.
watching who is connected to Courtney Love, feel free to send her this podcast, and you never know what could happen.
Courtney Love, if you're listening to me, I love you. I've loved you since I was 16 years old.
There we go, everybody. Make this happen for Ginny. So everyone who watches knows that it's super important to me, again, that we support our artists. So go out and buy Ginny's single. Truth be told, the rearrangers, if she gets a 32-cent check, she's not going to be able to even buy them that beer that she's going to spit on you if you request Wagon Wheel. So that could be a little tough. And of course, since you're Canadian, are you going to be spitting Molson or Moosehead on someone? Or Labatt's?
Oh, you're not going to like my answer. Actually, I usually drink locally made draft beer. There's one of my favorites. It's from the Doghouse Brewery I think it's called the 10 pounder. It's the amber colored beer. So go Doghouse Brewery.
There you go. So
Yeah.
in order for her to get that doghouse, you got to get her out of the financial doghouse, support her music, go out and buy it. That being said, and I know you've mentioned a whole number of other local artists, but at this point, who are three that are your heavy rotation right now that you just can't get enough of, you're listening to a lot, that really are your earworms, whether it's you're on your way home, you're going to the gym, you're cleaning the house, whatever it is? Who are three artists that you really dig that you like to share with everybody, and why?
So I would love if everyone would go check out this band called Evil Creek. They have such a unique sound. It is like acoustic bluegrass rock. It is so cool. And not only is their music amazing, but they're also like the nicest, most supportive, amazing group of guys that have really like held my hand and dragged me along the way. And then Beyond Driven. They have released 2 singles now, and then Aaron's featured on a single with Renaissance, who's a rapper. And the third one, oh, this is so tough, only 3. The third one, I think I would have to be Until, the band. The band's called Until. And Darren Caldwell is the lead singer and guitar player on that, and he's featured on my single, Jekyll and Hyde. And they're a great this banger after banger. Bangers for breakfast, too. I'm slipping in one more, sorry. So there's so many. It's so hard to choose 3. But I would say those 3 bands, they really like get my blood pumping. I love the songs. Motoring along to it, definitely singing along in the car. Upbeat, positive. I love their messages and I love their vibes. So
excellent. Hey, look, I mean, we could go on all day, but we'd probably go on a few hours at that point. And this is supposed to be more about you than it is everybody else, but we do want to share the love of music. So Ginny, it's been great getting an opportunity to know you and to learn about your process. All the best on the single. Everybody go out and buy it. If I haven't mentioned it before, go out and buy the single. And if I'm ever in the Ottawa Valley area, I am certainly going to check you guys out. I do get up to the north when it's a little warm down here in Texas.
Yeah, the weather's not so savory today. So.
Yeah, and when it's not snowing up there, because I have an extreme snow allergy, so I prefer the warmth of Texas. But summers are nice in the Northeast. So thank you so much for joining us, everybody. Thank you so much. Leave questions down below, comments down below. Support the charity we're going to put into the show notes. Go ahead and take a listen to the Ottawa Valley Rocks playlist. buy Ginny's singles. And when you get done with all of that, come back for our next episode. So Ginny, thank you so much for joining me today. All the best on the new single.
Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it.
Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you soon.